Hello everyone. This is Leah Nascimento, your favorite Metro Atlanta realtor. And today we are talking about something super important, and that is water and your home and how you do to prevent it from getting into your home. So, this is a glass of water, and this is a bottle of delicious Pellegrino water. And look what happens when I pour this in. You see that? Water goes down and it fills the glass. Why is it important to make a point of that? It's quite obvious, isn't it? But sometimes we forget. Water has a tendency of going down to the lowest parts it can fit in. And which ones are the lowest part of your home? Yes, it is your basement. It is the area, it is your slab, your foundation, your crawl space. And those are areas that we don't often check. And when we don't check, it may creep up on us, and all of a sudden we find out we have this huge water issue we had no idea about. Just so you have an idea of how big this is, 1 inch of rain can generate on a 1 inch of rain on a 2,000 square foot roof can generate 1,250 gallons of water. And that's just 1 inch of rain. And that means that if you have 4 downspouts in your house, you're going to get 300 gallons of water down each one of them in just one single rain. Imagine how bad that can be. So if you do get 4 inches of water per month, and that's a low number, you're going to get 60,000 inches, 60,000 gallons of water in a year. What do you do with all that water? That's what we need to check here. So one of the things that you can do is check your grading. Make sure it is done correct. Okay, so make sure you're checking this. And what about, but it's very obvious when we talk about grading that you're talking about you want the house to be sitting a little bit taller and the landscaping to be running away from the house. But one of the things that we forgot the most is about flower beds and the mulch beds. If they're too close from the foundation, they can retain water and keep that area humid, and that could over time damage your foundation. The other thing that we often overlook is the landscaping barriers, such as your timbers and your plastic um, dividers, and or your brick dividers, or your walls. They look great, they're beautiful, and we love them, and we want you to use them. Just make sure that you remember that they will exacerbate the problem of the flower bed holding water. So if you can keep it further away from the house with a nice low grading, that would help. Now you may ask, how do I fix the grading of my house? Well, you should keep in mind that proper grading will go down about an inch per foot for the first 6 feet away from the house and around the house, and then for the next 10 feet will be nice and sloped away. So 1 inch for the first 6 feet, and then just gentle slope from there. And you may say, well, I have an issue because it's pretty flat around my house, and I don't have backhoes to come back and dig the whole yard up. What do I do? Well, there is an option. It's called a swale. It's not a whale. It's not me, whale. It's a swale. And what you do is you carve small depressions in certain areas of your yard, just guiding the water gently away from the house. So you don't mess with the whole gradient, it's just small areas, maybe in front of the downspouts, maybe where water tends to accumulate, just have that going away. This other thing that you can do to make sure water damage won't occur to your house is roof control. And that you do through your downspouts and your gutters. Some people are against gutters. I don't know why, but they say they're a waste of time. They're really not. They'll make sure that water is going away from your house and not all those 1,200 gallons of water are not coming down around your foundation and sitting there. So the first thing we want to talk about is gutters. You want to have gutters throughout your house. You want to clean those gutters often. And the proper pitch for a gutter is around a 1/4 inch per 10 feet, every 10 feet of gutters. If you have gutters that run over 30 feet, then you want them to have two different downspouts on both ends, and each one will have a pitch, away from the center. You also want to have your downspouts ending at least 3 feet away from the house. You want all of that water to be directed away. So if downspouts itself doesn't end that far, then you may want to get a downspout extension from Home Depot, from Lowe's, that you make sure that the water will go away from the house. Make sure too that you're never pointing that water to your driveway or to your sidewalks, because in colder months that can become very, very slippery, and that's dangerous for you and your children. Now, water usually shows up at a big problem in basements. It can also show up on your slab, but mostly in basements. So installing a sump pump can also be a very good option. In case you live in areas where the soil holds a lot of water, you may want to go with a sub-slab drainage system that will drain the water away from the foundation. So keep that in mind as an option if the downspouts, the gutters, and the grading isn't enough for your house. Now, here in the South, we also have a lot of houses with crawl spaces. Crawl spaces are great. They allow you to get under your house and do jobs without having to go through concrete, and much cheaper, much easier. With crawl space, you want to do the same things you want to do with a basement. You want to install a sump pump, and you also want to install drainage systems, and very important, vapor barriers on your crawl space, because even if you don't have a heavy water issue, you want to make sure that all the humidity in the dirt in your crawl space is not coming up and rotting up the joists, the floorboards of your home. So make sure you have a vapor barrier installed there. And my name is Liana Cemento. I want you to have the best house in the block, and I'll make sure you do it. So if you have questions about water damage, what to do, or if you have questions about your house, how to buy it, how to sell it, anything real estate related in the Georgia area, in the Metro Atlanta area in Georgia, or maybe even away, because I can help you find a good realtor, make sure that you talk to me, that you give me a call. I think you're important enough that I'm giving you my personal cell phone. That is my personal cell phone, 843-267-4165. And I want to answer that call when you come, okay? So if you like this video, give the thumbs up. Let me know what you think. And I want to hear about your personal stories, okay? Stay tuned. We'll be back next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.